Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
See State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa at 309 High Avenue East for auto, home, business, life insurance, health insurance, and more. Kelly Style's mission at State Farm is to help people manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize their dreams. Call Kelly at 641-673-0088 or go to kellystyleinsurance.com. That's Kelly Style State Farm Insurance, 309 High Avenue East, Oskaloosa. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Valentine's Day is Friday, February 14th. Call or stop into the Garden Gate on the east side of the Sigourney Square. A special gift makes a special day. Let us help. We offer a variety of fresh flowers, balloons, candy, stuffed animals, candles, and many other gift items. We pride ourselves on over 30 years of design experience. The Garden Gate, proudly serving Keokuk County and the surrounding areas for 27 years. Call or stop in to get your order in for Valentine's Day. The staff members at Fremont Funeral Chapel in Fremont, Iowa will guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. A ceremony can be anything you wish it to be, simple or elaborate, traditional or unique. No matter how it's tailored, such a ceremony is an important step in recovering from loss. Let the staff at Fremont Funeral Chapel in Fremont, Iowa help you in your time of need. Attention drivers! Sinclair Napa is proud to bring you the best deals of the year on Napa Gold filters. Whether you're tuning up for a big trip or just keeping your daily driver in top shape, our unbeatable prices will keep you on the road for less. Napa has a filter for almost anything on earth that moves. Check it out today in Sigourney, Ottumwa, Centerville, Montezuma, or Williamsburg. Napa's filters are specifically designed for what you drive, how you drive, and how often you change your filters. Your car deserves the best, and so do you.
Build it together. Build it with Valley Lumber.
Are you building a new house or maybe wanting to do a remodel? Come check out our showroom at Valley Lumber and Hardware's Eddyville location. Cook kitchen cabinets, masonite interior doors, and more. Not sure what you want? Let us help with the design and layout of your new kitchen or remodel. At Valley Lumber and Hardware, we can help with any room in the house. From lumber for building to shower enclosures, paint, and more. Choose Valley Lumber and Hardware with locations in Eddyville and Albia.
Welcome to this edition of Morgan You Asked For podcast. Ryan Morgan here along with Trevor Voss. A couple days after the Super Bowl, Eagles dominate the Chiefs. I am not surprised the Eagles won the football game, but I am surprised in the way the game played out and how dominant the Eagles were on defense. And we'll discuss it, and Trev has some thoughts and stuff, and I do as well, on why that happened and what the Chiefs can do and what the Eagles did to show how to get to Mahomes and everything. I think there is one underlying reason it could have happened, and I think we'll probably talk about that. I haven't talked to you about that, but there is maybe one underlying play in the game that happened that might have affected Mahomes for the rest of the game, and we'll talk about that. But overall, Eagles dominate. Cooper DeJean, Iowa product, small town Iowa guy. Pick six. I didn't realize that was his first interception. Now, he didn't play a lot until towards the end of the year, correct?
Probably more toward the middle of the season.
Okay.
He started getting a lot more playing time.
Yeah, and obviously he was healthy, but yet at the end of last year, anytime you break your leg or whatever actually happened to him, until you get back in it, and then just being a rookie in the league. And that's why we've talked many times on here, even if you can wait for a quarterback to start till 6-7 games into the year, they at least understand how the weekly workload happens. And what happens, it just gives you a chance to learn how to be a pro instead of from day one at camp, you're the starter. And it's just hard. But Cooper DeJean played a great game. The MVP really should have been the entire Eagles defense. Now, I do believe Hurts earned it. He played really well as well. Because the Chiefs, everybody was like, well, Barkley's going to get his. Well, the Chiefs said, no, you're not. That was the one thing that the Chiefs planned to do and did do. They did not let Barkley beat them.
Yeah, I was feeling pretty good with my Cooper DeJean MVP ticket that I had. That was
That was-
$201. It was $5. That would have been $1,000 cash for me. So
Yeah.
when he got that pick six, that's what you need with one of those type of
Yep.
bets. You need to pick six. After he got that, I think his odds dropped. He was one of the favorites, of course, to get MVP after he got that touchdown there. But I knew he probably needed one more play in that game for me to win that bet. I also had him at 80-1 to have 2 interceptions in the game. So I was hoping for another pick, maybe a lob ball by Mahomes when he gets hit, and Cooper could go up and get the interception. So I was pretty excited when that happened. There was obviously a real good chance to hit on it, but I knew once Jalen Hurts got his 3rd touchdown there, that long pass to Smith, I knew he probably had it wrapped up. So still, though, a cool play by Cooper. The whole state of Iowa was probably going nuts when that happened. I was going to ask you first and foremost, what were you most upset with about the Super Bowl? Was it President Trump being there, Taylor Swift being there? Was it the national anthem? Was it the halftime show?
Everything but the game, right? Isn't that what
Was
everybody's mad about?
Was it the refs? Because all season and playoffs, we had to hear about the NFL's rigged for the Chiefs. Yep. So I assume all those people that thought the NFL was rigged, I'm sure they lost their ass on this game. They probably had all their money on the Chiefs, right?
Right.
I haven't heard from them, so I didn't know what you were most upset about because
all of it.
I didn't realize. I should have known, but halftime I really wasn't paying attention to the show. I don't know a lot of his songs, so I didn't really have an opinion either way. But I was busy looking up to see where I stood with all my bets. I had a spreadsheet out, so that's what I was doing. But I should have known Facebook was going to be upset after this one.
So now, obviously, small town white Iowa kid, I don't get it. And old. I mean, I don't understand what went on. I couldn't understand half of what he was saying, but that doesn't mean it was bad. I mean, I'm very much aware of that. Was not my cup of tea. I would have chosen 100 other artists, but the demographics they were going for with this halftime show was not me. So they didn't care what I thought. And I don't know. I don't get all the only thing that I didn't understand and what the NFL had to know what was going on was all like the inside jokes of the show or inside whatever innuendos or signs or whatever. Unless you were really involved, you had no idea what was going on. That was like when Serena Williams came out there and started dancing. I couldn't have told you she was Drake's ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, or Drake was her ex-boyfriend. I have no idea. That went way over my head. So that was, but maybe that was what they wanted too, is people like me to go look that stuff up. And like, honestly, I have not done this yet. I kind of want to. I don't have school tomorrow, so I might do it. Is go listen to his songs. Like, now, this is really weird for me to say, but I listen to podcasts and listen to everything on double time, 2 times speed, and it's fine for me. But I'm going to have to like go listen to his stuff in halftime or something, because maybe I just can't hear anymore, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. So I need to like listen to the songs and like figure out what was actually being said.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't even pay attention. I was just looking at my bets, so I didn't realize people were so upset, but I should have known better because between Trump, Taylor Swift, national anthem, him, the refs, there was plenty for people to complain about. I think it was 128 million people watched the game, and then 133 for the
halftime show. Yep.
So yeah, you knew it's always going to be split. It was just funny getting on Facebook afterwards. I enjoy that type of stuff. I like seeing people arguing and just being upset over silly stuff.
Now, again, who knows what's actually going on, and ever since COVID and all that, where they pumped in noise, I'm always just a little bit leery on what I hear on broadcast because you don't know if it's real or not. But when Trump was shown or whatever, it seemed to me like it was a loud cheer. Then obviously when Taylor Swift, there was a boo. Now, am I right in hearing this, that Taylor's from Philadelphia? Is she from there?
I think she's got a place there. I don't know if she's that may be right, that she could be from Philadelphia. I guess I don't know.
Or from the area. I mean, maybe not right at Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
But expect nothing less from Eagles fans. They booed Santa Claus and threw batteries at him. So, I mean, they're going to – now, most of those people that booed probably have bought her albums and went to her shows and cheered, but just in the moment they're going to boo her just because she's a Chiefs fan. So I can't blame them, but they're Eagles fans and they're nuts and they'll boo anybody.
Yeah, they'll boo anyone, like you said. And kind of getting into the game here, we didn't know it at the time, but the game was over after the second play of offense for the Chiefs. I mean, they got the first down on the first pass play, and after that, game over. And the Philly, Patrick Mahomes was off. It was one of his worst performances ever. And the Chiefs defensive line rushing 4, they manhandled the Chiefs. I mean, it was over from the beginning, and it was disappointing because we thought the Super Bowl had a lot to live up to potentially, and it didn't. Just one of the least entertaining Super Bowls in a long time.
Yeah, it was with the Eagles being up 34-0. Now the Chiefs made a little bit of a run, and it was starting to get, especially, obviously before game bets were done for, but in-game bets got really interesting because, second half lines and, there were people that had, I know some people that just kept throwing more money on the Chiefs when it was 10-0, 17-0, 24-0. And they just kept going. They just kept going to the Chiefs. I'm like, guys, I don't think it's counted. So there's some people that lost several bets on the Chiefs because they just thought that Mahomes would turn it back on. But do you think Mahomes got hurt when he hit his head on the turf?
He might have, but he was just off all game. And this isn't the first time that Mahomes has been off in a Super Bowl when he's getting pressured. We saw that with the Bucs one too.
It was the same thing. This was this. It's almost like Sirianni went and looked at the Tampa Bay film, and they did the same thing. A good D-line, a young D-line, that gets to the Chiefs. That's their kryptonite.
Well, it's the same thing the Giants did to Tom Brady. It's getting a pass rush with 4, because if you can get with just 4, you're already winning the number battle. You got 4 versus 5 offensive linemen plus the quarterback. It's a 4 versus 6. So the defense is automatically winning the number matchup there. So it was from the very beginning. Mahomes might have got hurt on that play, but he was still off. I mean, occasionally when he didn't have pressure, he was missing throws. And when you look in, people were talking about the all-time, him and Brady. Obviously, Brady's got the 7 rings. We know that. Brady's beat him twice in the playoffs, once in the Super Bowl. So that's where Brady has him. That can't really be argued. Brady's 3 losses are by an average of 5 points.
Right.
In the Super Bowls. Mahomes is by 20.
I heard this today or yesterday. I can't remember which day. When Brady walked off the field the last time on all 10 Super Bowls on offense, when he walked off the field, his team was ahead. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and Brady never put his team in the hole. He never had bad interceptions. I mean, he did have that one versus Atlanta, but he came back in that one. Right. Most of the time, Brady wouldn't let his team get down. Even if things weren't going well, he'd get to different plays. They'd run the ball a little bit, punt it, try to figure stuff out on the sideline. Mahomes had 2 interceptions early. That second one before half there, when they were backed up in their own end zone, I mean, that pretty much sealed the game. You could say the Cooper DeJean did one, probably sealed it too, but that was only 17-0 at that point. So, yeah, it's a little bit weird. One thing that does work in Mahomes' favor, though, Brady was 34 years old when he played in this Super Bowl. Right. And he was actually 37 when he won his 4th. Patrick Mahomes is only 29. So right. Mahomes he's ahead of schedule as far as age goes. He needs to get a Super Bowl, at least 1 in the next 4 years. And if he could somehow get 2 in the next 5 to 6, then he's going to be right in the ballpark. But it's losing that one was a big deal, though, to try to get to 7, obviously, because that would have been the 3-peat, something that Tom's never done. But people are acting like this thing is over. It might be someday, but again, Mahomes is only 29,
right?
So he's got the age advantage right now. We'll see what happens, and as far as the Chiefs long term, I think the biggest thing is how long does Andy Reid coach? If he coaches 4 or 5 more years there, then I'm sure Patrick Mahomes will probably get another ring. If Andy Reid retires in 2 or 3 more seasons, who knows, right?
Yeah, people do forget that there was a 10-year drought between Super Bowls for Brady. Now, some of it's skewed because Brady played till he was 45 years old, and you cannot count on Mahomes playing until he's 45. I mean, I just wouldn't. He's probably got 10 more years. I mean, that'd be what you should be looking at. Any more than that, it's definitely bonus time.